Open three is good.
Shot pours a goal. Oh, Schwitzenberg.
Nice.
Tough shooting, he scores.
Hello and welcome to Sports Jam for the week of October 31st. I'm John Jacobson.
I'm Jay Wilcox. Happy Halloween. Today on the show, section cross-country highlights plus state soccer, and meet three longtime volleyball teammates from Wayzata in our Sports Jam Spotlight.
Plus, we will talk playoff football with 12 Sports game analyst Ryan Iversen. Up first, playoff football. Armstrong and Champlain Park both came into their playoff game with a 5-3 record. The Falcons and Rebels played two good quarters before one team pulled away in the second half. This one on the Rebels' home field. First quarter, Armstrong quarterback Trevor Peterson's pass. He is tipped by Nat Hill and intercepted by Joey Falls. He returns it to the Falcons' 17-yard line. One play later, Romello Atkins takes the handoff, and he goes 17 yards for a touchdown. Atkins rushed for 92 yards in the game. That score puts the Rebels up 6-0. Champlain Park loses starting quarterback Bennett Otto later in the quarter to an injury. More on that in a moment. Fullback Michael Wozniak gives Armstrong a 14-12 lead in the second quarter with a 1-yard scoring run. But Champlain Park answers before halftime. Chad Costello, the senior quarterback, completing the pass to Marcus Hill here, keeping a Rebels drive alive. And a few plays later, Atkins takes the ball and gets to the end zone for the second of his 3 touchdowns. The Rebels are up 19-14 at the half. Deontay Bronson returned the opening kickoff of the second half to the Armstrong 18-yard line, and Ernest Warlow scores on the first play from scrimmage. He rushes for 106 yards and 2 touchdowns. The Rebels outscore the Falcons 28-0 in the second half to win it 47-14. And they now will play 7-2 Eastridge in the next round. That game is at 7 o'clock Friday at Eastridge High School in Woodbury.
Maple Grove's football team has reached the Final Four of the Class 6A playoffs in each of the past 2 seasons. The Crimson's road to make another run was almost derailed in their opener. The Crimson at home against Roseville. Third quarter, Crimson up 14-12. The pass complete to Levi Brown for a 43-yard touchdown. The Raiders take the lead. Late in the third quarter, third and long for the Crimson, Brad Davison launches a pass to Teddy Rash, and he'll fight his way into the red zone. And that drive continues into the fourth quarter, and Davison caps it off with a tough 8-yard touchdown run. Maple Grove has a 21-18 lead. After a Grove interception by Rash, Davison will hit him for a 27-yard score. Maple Grove pulls away with a huge fourth quarter to win 42-18. Maple Grove now hosts Edina Friday night. The Hornets beat the Crimson by 1 point in the regular season.
Also in 6A, Totino Grace hosting Coon Rapids. First quarter, Gabe Flomo breaks a tackle, stays on his feet for the 5-yard score. It's 8-0 Eagles after a 2-point conversion. Grace calls Flomo's number again. He zigzags to the end zone behind a couple of nice blocks for a 15-0 Eagles lead. Still in the first quarter, Kyle Halverson floats a pass to Joe Russell for a 13-yard touchdown. It's 29-0. The Eagles roll the victory. Final score 55-22. Hopkins, a winner over Farmington, now travels to Totino Grace for a 7 o'clock game this coming Friday night.
Cooper had a first-round bye in the Section 5 5A tournament. The well-rested Hawks met Irondale in the section semis on Saturday night. Cooper dominates from the start. Cameron King hits Pedro Amusu on the short pass, and the speedy receiver runs past the Irondale defense. Cooper takes a 6-0 lead on its first possession. After a Phoenix Sproles punt return sets the Hawks up in great field position, C.J. Adams makes the defender miss and scores. It's 13-0 after 1. A roughing the kicker penalty on a missed field goal gives Cooper a first down, and Adams scores on the first play of the second quarter. Their 2-point conversion makes it 21-0. The Hawks defense stops Irondale inside the 10-yard line late in the first half. Ante Burns with this tackle, and Cooper leads it 28-0 at the half. And they come out strong in the second half as well, as Adams scores one of his 4 TDs. Cooper wins 42-12. The Hawks had a lot of offensive contributors.
It's real nice because we don't just have a go-to guy. Everybody's our go-to guy. So when everybody doing their job, it's just nice, everything clicking.
Cooper gets the rematch with Spring Lake Park for the Section 5 championship. That's Friday night at Spring Lake Park. In Section 5 4A, Benilde St. Margaret's whips Richfield 55-14 in the semifinals. The Red Knights host Holy Angels in the section final Friday night. Providence Academy, Brooklyn Center, and West Lutheran all lost in their section semis on Saturday. Now to soccer, where two local teams advanced to the state tournament. The Wayzata boys facing Owatonna in the rain in the AA quarterfinals. Matt Munchow passes to Alex Bracken, and he hits this one well, finding the top corner of the net. The Trojans are on the board 15.5 minutes in. Then it's Sadra Galzarian delivering a great pass. McLean King deflecting it off his body and in. Wayzata controls the first half. They're up 2-0 at halftime. Owatonna trying to rally, but it's not to be. King's pass toward Patrick Weah goes off the defender's foot and in. King gets credit for the goal, and it's 3-0 Wayzata. Less than a minute later, Weah with a nice pass. Stuart Sane drills it home. Wayzata rolls to a 5-0 win to advance to the semis. And in the semis Monday morning, Wayzata wins 2-0 against Lake Conference rival Edina, their third win over the Hornets this season. The Trojans will face the state's only other unbeaten team, Stillwater, in the Class AA final Thursday afternoon at 3 at US Bank Stadium.
The Benilde St. Margaret's girls are back to defend their title in Class A soccer. The Red Knights, top-seeded team for Class A, face St. Cloud Apollo in the quarterfinals. Madison Stokes of Benilde, long free kick here to the front of the Apollo net. Claire Vanderheide gets control of it, passes to Amanda Cassidy with a quick shot and goal, and that makes it 1-0 Benilde. Castillo had a big game in the section final, sets up Vivian Chenal for the Red Knights' second goal. And Benilde up 2-0 early in the second half. Less than 2 minutes later, Stokes again, this time on the corner kick to Ingrid Lundberg for the goal. The Red Knights beginning to pull away as it's 3-0. Chenal races past the defender and gets to the loose ball. Her shot caroms back to her off the post, and she doesn't miss the second time. She scores 4 times in the night. Benilde wins 6-0 and advancing on to the Class A semifinals. So the Trojans and Red Knights both getting a chance to play at US Bank Stadium.
Well, as I said during one of the game broadcasts, there'll only be one first year, too, so that's great for both of those teams. Stay with us. Next up, highlights from section cross country and volleyball. Welcome back to Sports Jam, and time to talk cross country.
Section championships meets were held this past week, and at the 6AA championships, we start with the girls race. And a pretty good finish. Edina's Amanda Mosberg and Wayzata's J.C. Thompson battling to the line. Mosberg holding off Thompson for the win, and the Hornets win the team title. Renee Anderson and Elizabeth Klecker of Hopkins also qualify for the state meet. It's an even better finish in the boys' race. Hopkins' Seth Eliason gives it all and holds off a late charge by Wayzata's Khalid Hussein. Eliason's time 15:33.4. Hussein 15:33.6. Trojans dominate the race, though. They get runners in the top 10, 6 of them in all, easily to win the championship. We spoke with Hopkins' Eliason and Wayzata's Hussein after the race.
We have great runners in Minnesota, and we just happen to have a lot of them in this competition section, so I think it's a great thing. Keeps me sharp, ready to race guys like Khalid and Patrick, guys that can really push you pretty hard.
Going into state, we're pretty confident that we can win if we just keep clicking along and doing what we have to do. Keep training the right way, trust the training. And the coaches are like Coach Pop and Coach Jan and Coach Hebing, Coach Rice, all the coaches. They're all the credit that we have.
Here are the final team scores. Wayzata wins. The boys meet with Edina second. Both teams advance to state. Minnetonka is third with Hopkins fourth. Armstrong is seventh. Benilde St. Margaret's eighth and Cooper 12th. Edina and Minnetonka are the top 2 finishers and state qualifiers for the girls. Wayzata is third with Washburn fourth. Among the other local schools, Hopkins places 6th with Armstrong 8th, Benilde 9th, and Cooper 11th.
Section 5AA saw a local boys team continue its strong season with an impressive performance. The girls, though, up first in great weather conditions at the Section 5AA meet. Annalise Davis from St. Michael Albertville races to the win easily. Her time is 18 minutes, 45 seconds. On the right, freshman Ava Lanou of Maple Grove is the only local girls qualifier. She finishes 13th overall to advance. Then it's the boys' turn in Anoka. Maple Grove's Alex Miley continues to run well as he wins easily. 15 minutes, 22.8 seconds is his time. Maple Grove's Justin Brackup takes third, and his teammate Blake Iversen is seventh as the Crimson win the section title. Osceo's Corey Moody also qualifies.
Awesome. I mean, the training that we had 2 weeks before definitely paid off. We all were just like feeling great today, our legs, and it was a great team win. And
see, I always want to do well, but I think a priority would be doing well as a team, especially in this race where the top two teams will make it to state.
And Maple Grove is headed to state as Section 5 boys champ. Mounds View also advances as runner-up. Totino Grace is 7th, Champlain Park 8th, Rogers 10th, Osseo 11th, and Park Center 16th. St. Michael, Albertville, and Centennial are the girls qualifiers with Anoka 3rd. Maple Grove is 4th, Champlain Park 6th, Osseo 9th, Park Center 11th, Rogers 12th, and Grace is 15th. The state meet is this Saturday in Northfield.
The section volleyball playoffs are in full swing. Champlain Park is aiming for a third straight trip to state. Rebels were at home to play Orono in the Section 5 3A quarterfinals. The kill here for Rebels senior All-State hitter Sydney Hilly as Champlain Park leads early in the first set. Izzy Ashburn sets up Allie Miller, who tips a shot over the blockers and down for a point. Champlain Park wins the first set 25-11. Second set, and Maria Claflin times her jump perfectly, getting the solo block for another Rebels point. Keelan Weimerskirch passes to setter Ashburn, who dumps the ball over for a point and a kill. And Champlain Park winning set 2, 25-12. Rebels go on to complete the sweep. Hilly with the kill on a tip shot here in set 3. Champlain Park beats Orono 25-11, 12-11. They will host Blaine in the section semifinals on Wednesday night.
Also in Section 5, Wayzata hosting Rogers. In the first set, a great dig by Paige Hagelin, and then Kate Berg's hit will get down for a Trojans point. Freshman Elizabeth Helmick gives Wayzata set 1 as she delivers a kill for a 25-15 win. To set 2, Wayzata fights off a nice serve by Rogers, and Deborah Kowalczyk gets the kill here. On set point, Olivia Roberts gets the block for Wayzata as the Trojans take the second set 25-16. In set 3, nice passing by Wayzata, and Berg hammers it home for a kill for a 20-8 lead. On match point, Berg and Morgan Baufield team up for the block. The Trojans sweep Rogers to advance to the semifinals to play Osseo. We'll meet the Trojan senior captains later in our Sports Jam Spotlight.
In Section 6 3A volleyball, defending section champion Hopkins is the top seed this year. Set 1 of their match against St. Louis Park. Nice serve by the Orioles, but Hopkins digs it up. Jasmine Martin with the kill, and it's a 16-11 lead. On set point, Tara Lee chips it over and down for the Royals, and they win the first one 25-16. Set 2, Lee with a nice back set to Anna Erickson for the Hopkins kill. Greta Werner puts down a nice cross-court hit for a 16-8 Hopkins lead. And then it's Lee with another nice back set to Erickson here. She'll hammer it down. The Royals win set 2, 25-16. They get the sweep and will face Armstrong Tuesday.
Singles and doubles titles were on the line Friday at the State Girls Tennis Tournament. Defending champs Lauren Kozakowski and Grace Zumwinkle of Breck playing in the Class A doubles final. They face Blake's Laney Axel and Sophie Skallerud. Skallerud gets the volley winner, and the Bears duo rolls to a 6-1 win in the first set. After falling behind in the second set, Zumwinkle and Kozakowski briefly rally. Zumwinkle with a forehand that fools the Bears. They pull within 4-3. But Axel and Skallerud regain control. And when Zumwinkle's forehand will be too long on match point, the Blake team wins it 6-1, 6-3. And in Class AA, Wayzata Sam Stevenson and Sydney Stern winning the consolation title.
Strong finish for them after a first-round loss. In our Sports Jam Spotlight next on the show, we'll meet 3 Wayzata seniors who are hoping to extend their high school volleyball careers. The Wayzata volleyball team features 7 seniors, 3 of whom have played on the Trojans varsity since 9th grade. In this week's Sports Jam Spotlight, we meet this trio making one final postseason run. Kenzie Groechel, Kate Berg, and Morgan Baufield's days are limited as volleyball teammates, which seems hard to believe for these longtime high school and Minnesota Select Club players.
It's been so much fun. Like, I've played my entire career with them, basically. I played 11 seasons with both of them, so we basically grown up playing and loving the game together. So it's so much fun that we get to have this high school experience together. And they're such good players and they're such good people, so it's made my high school volleyball experience just amazing.
It's really been an experience. I mean, we've played together since we were even before Wayzata. We were playing together on a club volleyball team. And so even just going into the high school season with them has been a really big blessing in my life because we lean on each other and they support me and I support them, and we're just sisters on the team.
They've become some of my closest friends, and it's really nice having teammates that I can also just talk to about anything.
Groechel is in her 4th season as a team center. Outside hitter Berg made the varsity as a freshman as well, while Baufield, a middle hitter, was called up in time for sections that season.
These 3 have been our leaders, and truthfully, they've been leaders in our program prior to being seniors. Just performance leaders and emotional leaders, and they're really wonderful people. They connect well with one another, and have pulled kids into our team even stronger. And so got to be great people, and people got to respect you before they really care how talented you are. And they definitely had the respect of their peers. So.
The players all have different roles, and their on-court personalities complement each other as well.
I'm more leading by example. Morgan's more kind of kicking the butt, and then Kate's just always calm and collected. So I think it's important that we all have different leading strategies, and I think it actually helps our team.
I'm very energetic and I give a lot of emotion to the team. Kate gets the momentum going when she gets a big swing, and Kenzie sets up that momentum and everything, and we all work together really well.
I certainly have a high level of trust in them as players, and I lean on that trust while they're playing, and rather than, it's almost like there's situations where I can just give them a look and maybe a quick hand gesture, and they know what that means in almost paragraph form. So they do a good job of kind of being coaches on the floor on a lot of occasions. So.
With this trio's help, Wayzata volleyball teams have won over 80 matches in their 4 years of varsity play. One goal yet eludes them, though, the state tournament. Trojans have lost 3 straight section finals, twice to Eden Prairie in Section 6 3A, and last year in 5 3A, a 5-set heartbreaker to Champlain Park.
It was a battle. I just remember even after the first couple sets, it was just so tiring, but it's a good kind of tiring because you're being competitive and you're playing good volleyball, but it was a long day.
Alderson has put Champlain Park in the state tournament.
There's a lot of things that we could have done better, obviously, so we've fixed that this season, and hopefully that will help us if we make it to the section finals.
It's always in the back of my mind, you got to get through this first game, we got to get through the next game, and then we'll see where it comes. It's certainly going to be a challenge, but we've been challenged every year before, so.
Next year, the 3 head out on their own separate ways journey. Kate will play college volleyball at Minnesota Duluth. Morgan at Northern State in South Dakota. Kenzie is still undecided, either playing at St. Thomas University or club volleyball at the U of M and studying at the Carlson School of Management. The 3 leave a lot behind at Wayzata as they move ahead.
It's going to be very hard to move on for them just because they've been such an emotional support to me, and I wouldn't be the same player I am today if I didn't play without them.
It's been amazing. They're like my second family, and I wouldn't have imagined playing anywhere else.
The Trojans play Osseo in the semifinals Wednesday at 5 o'clock at Champlain Park High School, while the host Rebels face Blaine at 7. The Section 5 3A final is Saturday afternoon at 1 o'clock at Anoka High School. Sports Jam returns in a moment as Jay talks playoff football with 12 sports analyst Ryan Iversen.
Welcome back to Sports Jam, and we are at Cooper High School. Ryan Iversen, our 12 Sports football analyst, joining us to talk playoff football. Down to a handful of teams remaining. Let's start here with Class 5A Cooper. We saw them tonight here against Irondale. very impressive performance. They've had a great year, and now they get a rematch with Spring Lake Park.
Well, not just impressive dominating tonight, really in all phases of the game. I'll tell you what's most impressive about Cooper, maybe more so than any 6A school or 5A school team that I've seen this year, is just the depth of talent and athletes that they have. They have so many guys on the outside, from a receiver to a slot receiver. Their running backs, their quarterback is playing out of his mind. He's accurate. They got great balance, and defensively too, they just fly to the ball. They got playmakers all over the place. It's setting up for a really, really nice rematch with Spring Lake Park next Friday night.
Yeah, those teams play for the Section 5 championship in 5A. We've got 4 teams left in 6A in our viewing area. Let's start with Maple Grove. Got tested against Roseville, poured it on late, pulled away, and now they've got a rematch with Edina, a team that beat them by 1 point.
My feel, Jay, for Maple Grove is that they don't play up to their level until they have this sense of urgency, right? There's been a couple games this year where it's been closer or they've even trailed, and then all of a sudden they pour it on, they end up winning by 30, right? So, I think they got, number one, they got a senior quarterback in Brad Davison, who everyone knows is a great athlete. He's a competitor. He's a guy you want on your side. He's going to do whatever it takes to win. They got a pretty good balance of running and passing, but, what travels in playoff football is running the football and playing defense. And Edina, that's what they do. They run the football and they play physical defense. Edina got the best of Maple Grove early in the year by 1, so I expect a really physical game.
Champlain Park, a team you saw Friday night, they'll go on the road to take on Eastridge.
Yeah, I left really impressed too with Champlain Park. Not only did they lose Bennett Otto, their sophomore quarterback, to a shoulder injury, but their senior quarterback, their backup Costello, who had been the starter last year, kind of an unusual circumstance, but he came in and he didn't miss a beat. He was very confident, very effective. They obviously throw the ball, that's what they like to do, but I actually left being even more impressed with their running game. Kind of similar to Cooper in that they have really good balance. And when you're going to play Eastridge, who's big, physical, almost like a pro-style offense, big offensive lineman, we're talking 300-plus pounds, a really good running game. They're going to have to be physical. It's going to really come down to, I think, Champlain Park selling out to stop the run of Eastridge. And let's face it, Eastridge is down a little bit this year. They have a couple of losses. They're not quite to the level they were last year. I think that's a very winnable game for Champlain Park.
Hopkins Royals still alive after a win over Farmington. The downside, not an easy task. They'll take on Totino Grace.
Yeah, congratulations for a playoff win. Here's Totino Grace, maybe the best football team in the state of Minnesota. Here's the thing, when you play Totino Grace, is they're not going to beat themselves. They're going to just run you and run you and run you and pound you, almost like a boa constrictor, just kind of suffocating you. What Hopkins is going to have to do, and they like to throw it, they run a spread offense, they're going to have to take care of the football.
Now, some good games coming up. That's Ryan Iversen, our 12 Sports football analyst, and more playoff games coming up in this week ahead. We'll be back to wrap up Sports Jam, but first, it's a look at our plays of the week.
Can't get a better shot than that one.
He is to the end zone and in for a touchdown.
Local Vote 2016 focuses on the candidates that make key decisions affecting your life close to home. As you decide how to vote for people who will represent you on your city council, on school boards, and in the state legislature, hear from the candidates themselves first, whether it's a candidate profile on 12 News, a local political forum, or election night coverage. Find it all on Channel 12.
Well, that'll do it for this week. A big week ahead of playoff competition. Go to our website, 12.tv, for replay times of games ahead.
Happy Halloween. We'll see you next time on Sports Jam.